Hi student, today we will be going through chapter 12, basic geometrical concept. First of all, we will learn what is lines, line segment and ray and what are the difference between them. First of all, a point. When you have a point and you label M, we call it point M. Point M. If you draw a line and you label X and Y, there's no beginning and ending, we call it line XY. A line XY. Remember, you have to have your capital letter alphabet. Okay, line XY. And next one, line segment. Line segment is a portion of a line that has two endpoints. If you draw a line and you have the endpoint for each of the sections here, so we call it line segment XY. Okay. And last one, we call it ray when you have a line and you have one endpoint and another side without any endpoint. For example, we label XY, so we call this ray XY. Okay. The next part we're going to learn is line symmetry. So if a figure is symmetrical about a line, the figure has a line symmetry. For example, the triangle over here, if let's say I draw a line, a straight line that cut through the vertex, this is what we call axis of symmetry. Once I draw this line, I will produce two symmetrical images. That is what we call lines of symmetry. How about a square? Is there any line symmetry? Yes, we do have the line symmetry here. Okay, how about the triangle over here? Can we draw any lines of symmetry here? No, there's no axis of symmetry. Okay, so no lines of symmetry. So basically, lines of symmetry means that when you draw a line, you will be able to produce two identical or symmetrical images of the figure. How about point symmetry? What is a point symmetry? So if let's say you have a figure here, you turn it 180 degrees, you upside down the image, you're going to produce exactly the same image. And this is when we plot a point here. We call it center of symmetry. And right now, I'm going to turn the image to 180 degrees. Means that this is the original position, and I'm going to turn it 180 degrees. The image will still look the same. How about the image on the right here, a trapezium? If let's say I turn it 180 degrees, will I produce the same image? No, right? It will be a different figure. Therefore, we don't call it a point symmetry. Okay? So based on these two examples, example 1 has point symmetry. However, example 2, there is no point of symmetry. Okay. Next, we're going to learn different names of the types of angle over here. Okay, first of all, acute angle, a very acute angle. So it is referring to angle less than 90 degrees. Any angle that is less than 90 degrees, we call it acute angle. Next one, right angle. Right angle refers to an angle that is exactly 90 degrees. Okay, that is exactly 90 degrees. And usually, if they do not mention about the angle, they will draw a small square over here to represent it is 90 degree angle. Next, obtuse angle. Obtuse angle refers to the angle that's greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. Means that it can be 91 degrees, 170 degrees, 179 degrees, 150 degrees. Any angle that fall between the range here. Obtuse angle. Next, we will have straight angle, straight line angle. So it refers to the angle that is exactly 180 degrees. Straight angles. Next, reflect angle. Reflect angle refers to any angle that is greater than 180 but less than 360. We can have 181, we can have 359 degrees, we can have also 250, 310 as long as the angle is lie between 180 to 360. And last one, full angle. So full angle refers to angle that is exactly 360 degree, one full round, 360 degree. Next one, we're going to learn how to read an angle. For example, if you would like to refer to this angle, we will call it angle. This is angle symbol. We call it angle A or B. Angle A or B. How about this one? How to refer or how to call this angle over here? Angle X, Y, Z. Angle X, Y, Z. Okay, next one. How can we call this angle? Angle LMN or angle NML. No issue if you begin with L or M, X or Z, A or B, as long as the middle one is correct. Okay? And you guys have to make it a habit to ensure your angles are in capital letter. All these A or B, X, Y, Z, and M and N. Write it in capital letter. Next one, we're going to learn about the intersecting line, parallel lines, and perpendicular line. When you have two straight lines intersect, at this point, we call it intersection point. And they are intersecting line. When you have a pair of straight lines going towards the same direction, we call it parallel lines. You will see the arrows that represent parallel lines. Okay, so whenever you see the arrow here, it refers to AB and CD are parallel lines. Or sometimes they will use the symbol to represent their relationship. AB is parallel to CD. Next one, perpendicular line. Perpendicular line is when two straight lines intersect and it produces a 90-degree angle here. All the angles at the intersection point will be 90 degrees. That is what we call perpendicular line. When both the straight lines intersect at each other, produce a 90-degree angle. And we can write it in symbolical AB perpendicular to CD. Line AB is perpendicular to line CD. How about perpendicular bisector? So, same as perpendicular line, CD and AB, they are perpendicular line. But AB is the perpendicular bisector of line segment CD. Still remember what is line segment? Line segment refers to the line that has two endpoints. So when we say perpendicular bisector, this line AB going to cut the line CD into equally half. It bisects the line segment CD into equally half. So it will produce CDE with this relationship. COD. So CO equal to OD if AB is the perpendicular bisector of line segment CD. So if here is 5 cm and OD will as well be 5 cm. How about angle bisector? Okay, how about angle bisector? What is the difference from perpendicular line bisector? Okay, angle bisector is when you have this angle A or B, right? This is angle A or B. As you can see, there's a small little square here. It represents 90 degrees. This little blue square here represents 90 degrees. Okay, so your angle A or B equal to 90 degrees. How can you identify your angle D or B? Okay, first of all, once we know that line DO is the angle bisector of angle A or B, means that this line DO going to separate or going to cut the angle A or B into equally half. So A or D angle will be equal to D or B angle. Therefore, they will be equal, right? So 90 degree, you're going to divide that by 2, you get 45 degree. Means that A or D angle is 45 degree and D or B angle as well is 45 degree. This is what we call angle bisector. Okay, next one. You're going to learn about what is complementary, supplementary, and conjugate. So complementary angle refers to the angles, the sums of the angle equal to 90 degree. So if we say angle A is the complementary angle of angle B, means that A plus B angle will be equal to 90 degrees. That is what we call complementary angle. How about supplementary? Supplementary is sums of the angle equal to 180 degrees. So for example here, angle A plus angle B will be equivalent to 180 degrees. Okay, that's what we call supplementary. And conjugate will be the sums of the angle will be equal to 360 degrees, one full turn. Okay, let's try some questions over here. First of all, angle X and this 35 degrees, they are complementary angle. How do I know? Because there is a little square over here which represents this angle is 90 degrees. Therefore, X plus 35 degrees equal to 90. So your X will be 90 degrees minus 35 degrees, which is equivalent to 55 degrees. X equal to 55 degrees. Okay? And from here, there's one straight line, and we're going to identify this Y. They are supplementary angle, which means Y plus 60 degrees equal to 180 degrees. This is a straight line, so sums of the angle equal to 180. So your Y will be 180 minus 60. You get 120 degrees. Y equal to 120 degrees. And the last one is conjugate angle. So based on here, it means X plus 70 degrees equal to 360. So your X will be, your Z will be 360 degree minus 70 degree. You get 290 degree. And now we're going to learn about what is vertically opposite angle. Vertically opposite angle. So when you have two straight lines and they intersect at the point O over here. Okay, intersecting line. When you have two straight lines and they intersect at intersection point, and the opposite angle going to be the same. The opposite angle going to be the same, which means that angle A will be equal to angle B, and angle C will be equal to angle D. So if today I mention that angle A equal to 50 degree, and your angle B will be 50 degree as well. That is what we call vertically opposite angle. Okay, and you may apply straight line angle, straight angle. So you will have 180 right, or you call it supplementary angle. So C will be 130 degree. Sums of the angle equal to 180. Okay, vertically opposite angle. Besides, we're going to learn about alternate angle. What is alternate angle? Alternate angle is when you have a pair of parallel lines and you have a transversal. This is what we call transversal. Transversal refers to a line that cut through two lines or more. We call it transversal line. So if let's say you have two straight lines here, right, and you draw a line. So this line cut through more than two lines, right? We call it a transversal line. Okay, so you have a pair of straight lines, and this is your transversal. This is what we call alternate angle. They are going to be the same value. Okay, if let's say here is 50 degree, here will be 50 degree as well. It shows a Z angle lah. You can see it looks like a Z. Okay, same goes to different directions. If you have this parallel line, and this is your transversal, these two angles, we call it alternate angle, will be the same as well. If let's say here is 100 degree, here will be 100 degree as well. Alternate angle. Corresponding angle. Corresponding angle is when you have a pair of parallel line and a transversal. These two angles, we call it corresponding angle. It looks like the alphabet F, right? So if here is 100 degree, this angle will as well be 100 degree. It can be also in a tabulate forms of F angle. Okay, it can be like this as well. This is also known as corresponding angle. And the last one already, interior angle, the last part already. Interior angle, interior means inside, right? So when you have a pair of parallel line, this is your transversal, right? So these two interior angle, the one that face each other, for example, I call it A and B, right? The sums of these two angles going to be equal to 180. No more, no less. Not going to be more than 180, not going to be less than 180. It will be exactly. Okay? So means that this is the parallel line, right? Angle A plus B equal to 180. So if I give you the angle here, this is 130. And you have to identify your x. You will use x equal to 180 minus 130, which is 50 degree. X will be 50 degree. 130 plus 50, you get back 180. Sums of the interior angle going to be 180. Okay? And now we shall try some question together. Okay, first of all, question 1. We have to identify x and y value. So based on here, this is parallel line. Transversal. You can identify your y, right? Can you see the F angle? So your y will be equal to 60 degree. Okay? And then your x, you can use supplementary angle to look at this part. If your y is 60, your x will be 120. Okay? Or alternatively, you can look at the interior angle. The interior angle. Sums of the interior angle, 60 plus x will be equivalent to 180. So your x will be 120. Okay? Secondly, let's look at this question together. You have parallel lines, and a transversal. This is what we call alternate angle. A Z angle. Alternate angle. So these two angles are going to be the same. Means that 3x equal to 84 degree. Alternate angle. So your x will be equal to 84 divided by 3. You will get x equal to 28 degree. Okay. Next question. We have to identify x, y, z. Okay, first of all, let's see which one we can identify first. You have parallel lines. You have a transversal, 50 and y, which means that your y is equal to 50 degree. Y equal to 50 degree by identifying alternate angle. Okay, and next one, you may identify your straight line angle. So the sums of the angle will be equivalent to 180, which means that z plus y plus 78 will be equal to 180. So your your y is 50, right? So z plus 50 plus 78 equal to 180 degree. Okay, so your z will be 180 minus 50 degree minus 78 degree. You will get z equal to 52 degree. And lastly, you may identify your x. Now you already have y, z, and lastly is your x value. You can look at the interior angle. Sums of the interior angle going to be equal to 180. A plus b will be equal to 180. So you will have x plus z plus y equal to 180. So your x plus z is 52, y is 50, equal to 180. Okay, so your x will be equal to 78. Alternatively, if you want to identify your x, you can look at the corresponding angle as well. Corresponding angle is the F angle. So this is your parallel line, your transversal. Can you see your F angle now? Your x will be equal to 78. And question 4 given AB and CD are straight lines. So we can identify first of all, can you guys see this vertically opposite angle for x? When you have two straight lines, And then at the intersection point, we have the vertically opposite angle. So your x will be equal to 40 degrees. And then now you can look at this angle y. This is a straight line. So the straight angle, which is equivalent to 180, x plus y will be equivalent to 180. So your x is 40. And you may identify your y, which is equivalent to 140 degrees. And lastly, you're going to identify your z. Okay, based on here, you can look at this straight line. The sums of the angle here will be equivalent to 180. Means that z plus 95 degrees plus 40 will be equal to 180. So your z angle will be equal to 180 degrees minus 95 and minus 40 degrees, which will be equivalent to 45 degrees. Okay, question 5. Okay, you have a pair of parallel lines and you have to identify x, y, z. Okay, first of all, from here we can identify angle x. Okay, you guys see? Corresponding angle. So angle x will be equivalent to 75 degrees. Corresponding angle. X equal to 75 degrees because of the corresponding angle. Okay, you may also identify your y angle. Can you guys see parallel? 25 and y will be equivalent to 25 degrees. Okay, last one, you may identify your z angle. So this is a supplementary angle. Means that z plus x plus 25 degrees, it will be equal to 180. So your x is 75 degrees plus 25 degrees equivalent to 180. And your z will be 180 degrees minus 75 and 25. Z will be equivalent to 80 degrees. Okay. Last question, number 6. A pair of parallel. Alright, first of all, we may identify y angle. So your y will be equivalent to 70 degrees because of alternate angle. Z angle, as you guys can see, right? It looks like a Z, okay? The angle here will be the same. We call it alternate angle. And right now, you may identify Z angle. These two are straight line, and then the vertically opposite angle, Z will be equal to Y angle. So your Y is 70, right? So your Z will as well be 70 degrees. We call it vertically opposite angle. And last one, you may identify your X angle. There are several ways for you to identify your X value. So you can look at this interior angle. The sums of these two angles, 70 plus x, will be equal to 180. So you know that your x will be equal to 110. Interior angle. Sums of interior angle equal to 180. Or you can look at this straight line. These two angles going to be 180 in total. So you have 70 over here, and right here will be 110. The sum of these two angles will be equivalent to 180. Thank you so much. Hope you guys all learned something today.